Oh man. Today is a great day, man. It's your boy Gio back again with another video, and if y'all been following this series, you know that this has been about self-discipline and growth and mindset. And honestly, I'm just documenting my journey into becoming both a personal brand content creator while also rebuilding myself. And I'm hoping that I have a bunch of people on the other side that get to do the same thing. So with that being said, there's no secret, if you've been watching my channel, you know how this kind of started. And we're about a month and a half into this process. And now I feel like I'm in a comfortable enough place mentally to talk with you guys about self-accountability. Now, building the disciplines that we've talked about in the beginning of this series are the foundation. They allow us to move, govern, and function, if you will, in the world as we see it. And in that, as we create those disciplines, as we create those habits, and we get rid of the person that we were before, I keep bringing up this word a lot, it forces you to reflect. And boy, have I been reflecting, I tell you. Because, I'm flesh, I'm human, just like you guys are. None of us in this are perfect. But man, sitting here going through this right now and learning about myself in the way that I'm learning about myself, it's just opened up my eyes. It's like I might even drop a how to get over a breakup video. Not right now, but down the line in the future. But I want to take a second to really talk about self-accountability and what that means in the grand scope of this whole journey, I feel like, for me, and what I think you guys can take away from it in building you. To piggyback, we in earlier videos talked about insecurity and lack of trust in ourselves, like our words weren't holding weight. And I think a lot of that comes down to what it is you're telling yourself, what it is you're doing, and more importantly, what it is you aren't doing. Like, this whole process has shown me how much better of a person I can be, how many things that I can really do. And for y'all, I want y'all to understand that you don't gotta have it all figured out on day one. You don't gotta have it all figured out in month one. But it's the baby steps. Like, the person I was before this, I could clearly do this, but not in a very decisive, focused, transparent way that I'm doing it now, where I've read books and understand what it means to smile, laugh, how to win arguments, and things like that. Again, a tidbit from yesterday's video, go check that out too, about reading and how important that's been for me on this journey. And to go back into books, I just read a chapter in Making Friends and Influencing People. I think it was chapter 3. It says to spring a honey pot or to drizzle a honey pot. I don't have the book on me, but it was in this chapter where they were talking about honey, and it essentially talked about how flies will be more attracted to a gram of honey than they ever will be like a barrel of this other old-timey thing that they used to use to grab flies and stuff like that. And it made me reflect, because that was the reason why my relationship ended. I was insecure about myself and my partner. And those insecurities were reasons why I knew I wasn't fully ready to commit in the way that I was supposed to commit. And ultimately, what should have just been a sit-down conversation ended up being something that was so overly destructive that it's now over. And to take the accountability for that, you know, you have to be able and willing to not only forgive yourself, but be empathetic and understanding to the person that you've hurt. That's what I feel like self-accountability is. It's not forgiving yourself. It's being empathetic to the people you hurt and mending that so that you can be the best person to the next person you go to. And I would argue that in this time, I have essentially built the perfect person for the next person, because I did everything right and she did nothing wrong. I wouldn't even call it a growing apart, because we didn't want to be apart. It was quite the opposite. We were ready to tie and be completely committed together. So when you sit back and you take the time out to reflect on everything that you do and everything that you're being, like this discipline journey for me, as I built in this guide, I talk about just the basic steps of just getting the foundation of the day. Blocking the time out, reading the books, folding the clothes, putting away your bed, journaling, all those things are fine and awesome. But that foundation gives you back something that you didn't have before, and that's self-awareness and focus. And when you begin to have those things, they allow you to open your mind and start to really tackle serious problems. Problems that before, without the routine, without the structure, you didn't properly manage. And that's all it comes down to at the end of the day. You have a priority, how do you execute it? If you have no goals, no insight, no focus, no drive, no resolve to improve, you can't even get to a point where you create the best version of yourself. And that was something I ultimately lacked. Which is why in these videos I make now, as I'm getting eaten alive by mosquitoes, it's opening my eyes, bro. It's opening my eyes. It's the best way I can say it. Because I have the time to reflect. I have the time to dissect. I have the time to see every single thing, not through an emotional lens, because that's how I was that's how I treated my life before. Everything was emotional impulse, which is why I'm in the position that I'm in now. There was nothing of logic, if I'm being completely transparent, that I did in my old relationship. I'm honestly surprised that it lasted as long as it did. It should have ended much sooner. We should have had a proper separation to give each other time than we did now. Just looking back at everything, I should have taken a step back a long time ago. I became so good at burying myself. And I would assume a lot of you all did the same thing, because in not having the discipline, you don't take the time out to build the self-respect. The discipline gives you the self-respect gives you the accountability, if that makes sense. Because you don't have the accountability without the self-respect, and you don't have the self-respect without the discipline. It's all a circle. It all stems from the discipline. The being able to say, well, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this, I can do that, builds the respect. Where somebody can say, hey, you can't do it, bet. You're lying, I can. And when you learn and start to learn about people and things, then you take the accountability to say, oh, I don't know everything. I can't do everything. But I want to learn and execute. Let's go back a little bit and let's go back to reflection. When it comes down to self-accountability, reflection is the main thing. Making your brain focus and aware is going to be the superpower that you gain in this process. What do I mean by that? The world is full of distractions. I know we've all sat here and talked about this before. Hell, you're watching a YouTube video, and the reason I make my videos the way I make them is because I don't want you to feel like I have to have super duper flashy edits that are saying wow, kapow, kapish, kapish. Like I don't want that, because I want these videos to be digestible in a way that isn't a high and you're sniffing crack. I want it to be a way that you read a book. Like, this video isn't something you need to sit and watch. I would love for you to sit and watch me. I know I make great hand gestures, but I want you to use this video as something to listen to. Maybe it doesn't have all the exact answers that you need, but as I sit and was watching YouTube and doing all the things that I was doing, it takes us the nuggets, the bits and pieces in between that feel human in understanding. That's not just 5 tips to be more self-aware and more self-accountable. No, this is true events that have led this person down this path, and in doing the things that he said he's doing have brought him to the place that he is at, to have the real conversations. And I want you all to sit and have those real conversations back with me. I know I am a reflection of what I put out. I know the people I keep are a reflection of me. And in that, I have to be self-aware of the person that I am, so that I can reflect that back in the universe, so the universe will give it back to me. That's all this is. Like, the discipline is not to make you the super duper strong, cool, jacked, ripped dude. Like, you get that in the process of it. That's cool. You know, like, getting in shape has been awesome for me. I love it. Am I where I need to be at? No, I want to actually gain some weight, but that's a whole nother conversation. But the clarity of your mind that allows you to become self-aware and self-accountable is something that is arguably the most valuable thing you can have in this life. And I think that's what makes these billionaires so important and so rich. It's the ability to see in a way that the average man just can't see, because they're so busy trying to fulfill what they think the world wants instead of fulfilling what they want to give to the world. And when you become accountable of that and saying, look, I'm going to do this because I know it's going to make the world a better place, then you focus and you do it. That superpower, that awareness, for me, like today, forced me to sit in the car completely silent. I have a really good friend of mine who is a psych major, and we just sat down, kind of used her a bit as a therapist, but she's my best friend, so it doesn't fucking matter. You know, the cliche things that you hear all the time are talk to your inner child, sit and use emotions as like ways to guide yourself, but that stuff is real. Like, in this time, this is the first time I've ever been in a relationship with anybody this deeply. And more on that, it didn't hurt. I mean, it sucks, if that makes sense. And I don't know if anybody else is probably hurting in their relationship. I'm not hurting. I'm reflecting. I'm asking questions. Where did I go wrong? I'm being very analytical of things. Like, I've never been sad. Like, there have been moments where I've been like huff puff and like, I wouldn't even say tears, but like, it's weird. It's like, I've never been truly upset. If anything, it's the exact opposite. I feel a huge weight lifted, and that makes me uncomfortable. And that's just a self-reflection process I'm going through myself. I can't explain, I can't say what it means for you, but it's just the ability to have the space in your mind to think. That's what it opens up those Pandora gates. Because once you have the space, it's weird how clear the world becomes. Conversations that you wouldn't notice a twitch and a ooh and an ah in, I now notice in conversations with many people. The pauses that people take to speak, understanding those inflections. Like, dare I say, it's almost like a weird high. because you're so hyper focused, because your brain is not just like, I've also taken the time out to leave social media as well. Like my brain isn't hyper focused on everything being like, do this, do that, do this, do that, do this, do that. Like it just, everything feels so disconnectedly connected to where it forces you to look in and ask yourself those hard questions of, why am I here? What am I doing? What do I want? The questions we were asking ourselves in the beginning, where we were making those hypotheticals of where do we want to see our lives, which were the cliche ones. And we didn't have to have an exact answer, but most people are like, I want $1 million and I wanted this and I wanted that. But now, as I sit down and I look at it too, it's like, of course, the monetary value, the monetary figure is something everybody wants. But at a certain point, like I said in the last video, billionaires don't care about money. Money will come, money will go. The true thing that matters in this world is the community and people that you keep. And being accountable of the person you are reflects on all the people that are around you. When you take the time to look in and ask your inner child all these questions, as I was talking to my friend, she told me something that really kind of put me on my head. She said, often when people get into these type of breakup situations, they're asking themselves, like I was, where am I supposed to go? What is the point where I get over this? How do I get over this? And how do I know that I'm doing the right thing to get over this? And the truth is, we're still focused on the wrong part. We need to be focused on the present. And I know that sounds so simple. And when it comes down to like I keep saying, self-reflection, when it comes down to all of this, everything becomes so simple and everything is forced to be so present in a way that social media has hijacked. But now feeling that emotion without it and within is just so tranquil. Dare I say, scary, because I personally have never felt it. A feeling of zooming out to where I see the world for exactly what it is in this exact moment. Not what I'm thinking about tomorrow, not thinking about my run, not thinking about not even thinking about this video. Like I am present in this video. That's why I keep taking the pauses to make sure I think about my thoughts. I'm present. And when you fully become present, after taking the time out, like I told you guys, to build the discipline and the reflection, then you start to just get answers. You don't have to keep asking and filling the hole with noise. Billionaires talk about this monomaniacal focus, or this just synergy when you were locked in achieving a goal. And they say in order to find that, you have to cut out all the noise. And, on the surface, when you hear that, it's just, okay, I gotta throw away my phone. I gotta get back in shape. I gotta do 1,000,000 jumping jacks. I gotta get strong. I gotta get this. I gotta listen to my motivational thing. We're thinking about all the things we can do to fill in, to literally give us more noise. When the honest thing, I think, in the situation is just the presentness of it. That's why I think self-accountability is so important. You take the time out to be present with yourself, to understand all the thoughts that you are thinking. I cried. Why am I sad? I laughed. Why am I happy? You have the space to think about it. Because normally you wouldn't. Normally you would just laugh at a joke, if that makes sense. But every time I laugh now, it's a two-way thing. I see why I laughed and I see why the other person laughed, and I can tell if their laugh was genuine or fake. I wasn't able to do that before. As stupid as that sounds, I can see it now. I can now have conversations with people that don't feel just communal at work. Like saying, hi, Charlie, how are you? I'm good. I'm doing my taxes. Okay, no. I can go up to Charlie and say, hey, Charlie, look, You know, I see you're a little stressed today, but whatever you're going through, bro, keep your head up. And Charlie can then reply to me, well, yeah, you know, I'm dealing with this and that. He doesn't get too deep into it. But you help Charlie feel seen. And everybody wants to feel seen. And that's a reflection of me. I'm accountable for that. I did that. And it's not because I want the gratification of doing it. Not at all. It's I made him feel seen, therefore I am seen, therefore he feels special, I feel special. It's a mutual exchange that builds both parties. Like when you become, like it just goes back down to the inner security. It's been so weird for me, this everything. You taking the time out to really see within yourself, to understand that it's not about the destination. It's like all these things are starting to come together, and it bothers me too. It seems real hokey pokey weird, but you know, as I continue to take it on the surface, it just makes me understand why some of these people are so delusional in the things that they do, and they just get the things that they want because they're just not delusional when you think about it. They're just self-aware of, hey, look, I know if I take the time out to really look at myself and be the best version of myself around the people and my peers, I can do anything. I can ask anybody whatever it is I want and get it. To where, again, money doesn't even fucking matter anymore. Because of course, I want to be filthy fucking rich. I would love that. I would love to be able to one day have just a briefcase of $100 bills, like you see in the movies, open it up and just throw it at the roof and just forget about it. And that be my life. But when I really sit down and I really think about the things that I want, I don't want to say what those things are because I don't want them to skew what you think. The most important thing, and it should only be 4 things, I'm learning too. 3 is enough. 4 is pushing it, even, I would say. You should have one thing every day that you should just be like, I must have this thing before I end. And through everything that you do and you hold yourself accountable to it, you'll achieve. That means every day you wake up, you are like, I will have this thing, and when I get this thing, I'm not saying you'll be content, but it'll be more than a win, because our wins are everything. In this whole process that we've been on together, our wins are everything. So, rambling and talking points aside, as I try to sit and talk to you guys as though you guys are my friends, because I feel truly that you guys are that. You know, me sitting and talking to this camera doesn't feel like I'm talking to a friend on the phone. It feels like I get to sit and be the friend that picks the other friend up. And it means a lot to me. I don't know. I just hope that when people talk about genuine people in life, I can come up in those conversations because I know that I'm truly trying my best. For the first time in my life, I'm trying the very best that I know how to build the relationships and the rapport with the people that I care about. And more importantly, being the best version of myself so that the people around me that care about me understand that I want to make life better. I don't want to wallow. I don't want to be in a place where I live in complete chaos and dysfunction anymore. Because life is going to be full of chaos and dysfunction all of the time. It is the choice we make to not let it derail us. And when you give yourself your word on the things that you are going to do, they feel that much better. Being able to sit here and talk to you guys every day because I said I was going to do it has honestly, I think, probably kept me from going insane. Because what would I be doing right now? Laying in my bed and being on TikTok and talking to friends, and no, like that's not healthy. That doesn't build anything. This is building something. Like when I sit here and I look back at this with 1,000 videos up on this channel, and I come to look back at the beginning with you guys and get to see what we built together. Somebody's gonna watch this video, somebody's gonna like drop a comment and say, hey, either you look like a fucking fat soy boy, or, you know, like a comment I got yesterday, somebody just sat and wrote me an essay. Bro, and I feel so bad. Where's my phone? Because it's a comment. I want to make sure I show him respect. Hold on, guys. Because he deserves it. Give me 1 second, 1 second. My first for real comment of all of this, man. I gotta give my dude props. Hold on, studio. I've had no new comments. No one else has watched any of the other videos. That's great. 0 views, man. Okay, bet. Jude edit _5 wrote me an essay. And bro, like, Jude, I hope you don't get mad that I read your comment out loud, but bro, if like, I wrote him an essay back, but bro, it just meant so much to me. He said, the words you said really stayed with me. It wasn't just something nice to hear. It made me stop and think a different way. Your words were truly encouraging and meaningful, and the small things we do impact our whole life. You gave me a truly new perspective on how life should be lived. They reminded me to keep going, believe in myself, and not give up. Bro, the idea in my head, listen, I need y'all to understand how powerful that shit is. The idea in my head, I don't know this dude from a can of paint. This dude could be a hidden alias billionaire, for all I know. He could be a fat guy in a basement somewhere. It doesn't matter. Like, the fact that this person you see right here in front of you is taking the steps that you guys get to watch day by day, rebuild his life, become successful. And that idea is enough to touch someone. I don't know how much more important it is for y'all to understand the importance of what we're talking about in today's video. I could not do that before. When you hold yourself accountable, just it's a feeling. People feel it. And you don't get there unless you rebuild, unless you get disciplined, unless you self-reflect, unless you get clear. When you start holding yourself accountable to things, people respect the security you have in yourself to just do shit. Is just the best way I can put it. I'm doing shit. I'm building shit. I'm helping people, bro. It's like I don't have to lie about it. I don't have to just think it in my mind and know it's gonna happen. It's happening. Yes, it's not 50,000 likes on a video. That'll come one day, but it's just like the consistency of showing up for yourself every day brings the crowd. They will come. It might not be today. It might not be tomorrow. But if you focus, like I'm telling y'all to focus, everything else will make sense. I promise you. Whatever you want in your life, you will get. I promise you. No, I'm not talking out my ass. You can go look at the comments. You can go watch the videos and look at the comments for yourself. They exist. So to wrap up, because I know I sit and I talk a long time, and the reason I talk like this is, like I said, I want to feel like I'm talking to somebody. And I know YouTube videos are a lot more, you know, but I want to take it back to old school YouTube video, old school grandpa and like homies that just used to turn on their cameras and just say words and just be like, hey, look, these are some ideas and thoughts that I have. I want to share them. Like, bro, you can do it. When you hold yourself accountable, bro, sis, I guarantee you whatever you want in life, you will get. Because it's not just you asking for something. You bringing yourself to the table is all that is needed. When you tell yourself, hey, look, I want a bag of chips. You go to the teller and say, hey, teller, do you have a bag of chips? The way he responds to that question is everything. If you go to that man confident in yourself, he'll tell you exactly where it is. If you go to that man timid, he'll watch you walk over there and be like, yo, bro, go over there. It's right over there. Yeah. You can do this, man. Hold yourself accountable. Push yourself to the limits. Appreciate the world for what it is. Get clear. Get focused. Lock in. Tune in. Whatever words you want to say. But hold yourself to it. I promise you, the world will lift you up. No matter how far low you have fallen. If you are willing to take the time to take your first step. Like, they killed Jesus. And guess what? That bro controls the whole world today. So, my name is Gio. Hold yourself accountable. Push yourself to your limits. Continue to stay disciplined in everything that you do. New ebook on the way. It's weird to even like hype that stuff up because I don't want to be like a salesy guy, but you know, I gotta eat. Like, and it's stuff that we've talked about. It's just more concise, and you know, it's gonna help you get to this version of you faster. You know, I want to see everybody win. You know, I want to see everybody win, and of course, I would love to just sit here and talk with you guys all day because clearly, it's doing something. So, keep pushing, keep striving, keep gaining. I love you guys. The 82 of you guys that sit and watch these videos, man, it means everything to me. And I will continue to keep showing up for y'all every single time. I will see y'all boys tomorrow. As always, get your shit together. Later.